Jersey, it's your turn, baby. Jersey, big dog, it's your turn, Jersey. Now, what does Jersey have to do for the migrant crisis? Because I've never heard Jersey say, we want to participate as a sanctuary city and become a part of the migrant crisis. Jersey has never ever said that we want to be a part of the migrant crisis. Never, from what I could see. Jersey has been quiet, just like Michigan has been quiet. I ain't really heard nothing from Philly. They got their own problems. Every city, every state got their own problems. Jersey said, how did we get involved with this? Well, just like I've been telling you, it's always a trickle down. So where New York goes, Jersey is affected. Let me give you an up to speed update of what's happening currently with the migrant crisis, and then we're going to bring Jersey to the front of the congregation for having to suffer for not holding your brother New York accountable.
Let's turn now to the migrant crisis.
Mayor Adams' new executive order restricting when buses carrying migrants can arrive in the city is already having an impact on New Jersey.
Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini has more from Secaucus, where the mayor says migrants were dropped off over the weekend.
Secaucus Junction, one of the train stations in New Jersey where leaders say the impact of a recent executive order by New York City Mayor Eric Adams is being felt. That executive order puts restrictions on coach buses bringing migrants to New York City, specifically on when and how. The Secaucus mayor recently said it seems quite clear the bus operators are finding a way to thwart the requirements of the executive order by dropping migrants at the train station in Secaucus and having them continue to their final destination.
Now, here's the thing, Secaucus, because Secaucus is a smaller city, right? But here's the thing. For all that know that has ever traveled to New York, the best way to get to New York if you want to save the most amount of money and you actually want to get there cheaply, but you can get there in a decent amount of time, is there's three major airports to go into New York, right? You can fly in LaGuardia, you can fly in JFK, or what we usually do, or what we've done in the past, is we will fly into Newark, right? And so flying into Newark actually allows for you to drop off, and then you can catch the train. And the train is like, you can get there in less than an hour. You catch the train, you fly into Newark, you catch the train, you get it for much, much, much cheaper. All airlines that flying into Newark is much, much cheaper than flying into LaGuardia or flying into JFK, right? And it's an easier pass through. You go straight into the train because they got great public transportation. You can catch the train into New York. And then if you're going into Manhattan or something like that, then you can just jump straight into the subway system. Now, it can be confusing for the first time trying to understand which lines go where and stuff, but you'll figure it out. And if you got Google Maps, they'll help you. It'll guide you, and you can ask around, and there's people that will help you. But I'm not the only person, and the travelers are not the only people that's trying to figure this out. Obviously, we got to make sure that we get y'all set of migrants too. So migrants now have the opportunity to either continue to go over into Jersey, stay hanging out in Jersey, or you can catch that train over to New York, since Eric Adams decided that he wanted to adopt the exact same policies as Chicago. And then basically he's passing the burden, because none of the suburbs of Chicago ever said, hey, we want to be a part of this migrant crisis. But because Chicago understands that what they do affect the other areas around them, in Detroit, we call it Metro Detroit. Metro Detroit is basically three counties all put into one. Even though Detroit is Wayne County, you're going to have Macomb County, you're going to have Oakland County. And Oakland County is one of the richest counties inside of the United States of America. A lot of people don't know that. That's where I have all of my properties at, right? But a lot of people don't know that. And so what they don't understand is, a lot of people, if they're from Southfield, if they're from West Bloomfield, if you're from Birmingham, no matter where it is that you're from, you don't go out of town and people say, where are you from? You say, well, I'm from Birmingham, Michigan. Well, Birmingham, Michigan is one of the richest cities in the United States of America. And regularly, you can't find a home in Birmingham, Michigan that's less than $1 million, right? But they don't say, oh, I'm from Detroit, because people know where Detroit is. But it's Metro Detroit. It's the area surrounding the city that is the most populous or the most popular to the general public from people that's not from there. But also on top of that, what's affecting the rest of the cities is what happens in that city. So as Detroit goes, a lot of instances, also the people that surround it have to bear the brunt and the impact of what happens within that city. And it's the same thing that's happening in Chicago. It's the same thing that's happening over in New York. And so now it becomes everybody's problem because you decided that you wanted to make a bad decision, become a migrant city, a sanctuary city, support this agenda. Now, because you having to deal with the fallout, the Sea Caucus mayor, Michael Gagnali, we would have never known who this guy was, now have to deal with your foolishness because you didn't want to take care of your business and be on top of your game. So now they have to start allocating funds to make sure that and developing policies to try to prevent migrants from coming into their city. But now it's just a smorgasbord because Greg Abbott has no mercy on anybody, and justifiably so. Greg Abbott has no mercy on anybody, justifiably so, because Texas can't just be the only person, and Arizona and Florida and Oklahoma City and Louisiana cannot be the only places that's going to suffer as a result of the influx of migrants coming into this country. Just because it's at the southern border don't mean that the entire United States is not going to share in this pain.
With New York City just a train ride away, this commuter says it makes sense.
From here, it's probably like a 5-7 minute ride from here to Penn Station in Manhattan.
It seems like a loophole, kind of a silly thing.
It is definitely a way for migrants to get to the Big Apple without anyone breaking any rules detailed in the executive order. The consequences, according to the city, include fines and charges. Mayor Eric Adams issued that executive order the week after 14 buses arrived in New York City in just one night, bringing migrants from
and they shaking their hand and they giving them a warm welcome. Hey, welcome to the United States of America. Welcome to Jersey. Hey, park right here. We got food, clothing, healthcare coverage. If you go over to California, we'll give you a ticket over there. You can get free healthcare coverage over to California. They now have implemented in 2024, undocumented migrants can now go and get healthcare coverage, free healthcare coverage over in the state of California. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can enroll in our schools. You can make sure that you go ahead and get on social services. We're going to feed you. We're going to make sure that you got a tent over your head. We're going to take care of you. Matter of fact, before we get you over into the tent city, because we don't have enough room, what we're going to do is we're going to put you up in a luxury hotel. Free vacation on us. If you can get here, it's a free vacation on us. You can stay at the Roosevelt Hotel over in New York. Don't worry, we're going to cut our sanitation budget. We're going to cut the education budget. We're going to cut police officers, but we're going to make sure that you taken care of, and welcome to America.
Texas. The new rules include only allowing buses to drop off migrants in New York City Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to noon.
We cannot allow buses with people needing our help to arrive without warning at any hour of day and night.
City officials say more than 160,000 migrants have arrived in New York City since last spring. The mayor has said the goal of the executive order is not to stop migrants from coming to New York City, but to make sure there is better coordination. Posted recently on a Jersey City social media account, approximately 10 buses from various locations in Texas and one from Louisiana have arrived at various transit stations throughout the state, including Sea Caucus, Vanwood, Edison, Trenton. Humanitarians have said they're concerned this could create greater confusion for migrants and asylum seekers, many who say they want to go to New York City in search of that American dream.
And the American dream is yours, courtesy of Eric Adams, Mike Johnston in Denver, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. They're all one big, they like the superheroes for the bad guys. They're like, you remember when AOC and all of those girls used to be running around, them chicks, and they was getting big time? Now it's the guys. The guys have switched over into the feminine side, and now it's Eric Adams, Mike Johnston, the LA. Why do I keep forgetting who the LA mayor is? Brandon Johnson, and all of those guys. The Atlanta mayor. Let me make sure that I remember her name. LA mayor. It's a woman. She trying to stay. Karen Bass, and Atlanta mayor. And Andre Dickens. Yes, sir. Andre Dickens, Karen Bass, Mike Johnson, Brandon Johnson, and at the top of the totem pole is Eric Adams. Yes, sir. And Greg Abbott is decided to take on every last one of y'all, and he kicking y'all butt. That's a fact.